As always, at this time, every Tuesday, let's keep you safe from the scammers who are out there. They want your money. They want to be you, but not in a good way. They just want all of your personal information. And you know what they're going to do with that personal information? They're going to get your money. I mean, they are after your money. Oh, my gosh. All right, let's keep people safe. And, of course, we do that with Nancy Cahalen from the Better Business Bureau. Nancy, good morning.
Good morning. I couldn't have said it better, Hank.
They're out to get us. I mean, they really are. But identity theft is it is really, really scary. I got very nicely, and I've told you about this because it's happened to me before. I got a warning from my bank saying, hey, we didn't allow something to go through because it seemed to be a little different from your normal routine. We want to check that it's you. Now, on the one hand, it's a momentary annoyance. It's like, yes, it's me, and I wanted to buy that. Quit holding me up. On the other hand, I'm thinking, oh boy, I am so glad, because what if it wasn't me? It's almost, Nancy, as if I'm just constantly waiting to get that message and go, oh shoot, that wasn't me. Did someone steal my identity?
Yeah, you're right. It's really great that they've built in all these safeguards, but it's kind of sad that they had to. But identity theft is real and dangerous, and what they do is they steal your personal information without your permission, and they might open up a credit card, a credit account, get a loan, even rent an apartment using your personal information. They could access your bank or retirement accounts, and you might not even know that it's happening until you take a look at your credit report. So it's a serious crime, and these identity thieves, they can steal your information in a whole bunch of different ways. Some of them are old school. They dig through the trash.
Yeah.
So be careful what you throw out. That's why we've talked about, using a shredder. So anything with an account number on it, your social security number on it, anything that's got personal identifiable information on it should be shredded. They can retrieve information from discarded computer equipment or cell phones. Those are little computers. They have a hard drive in them that saves information. So just don't, be very careful about the disposal. There are many other ways that they can steal your info. We've talked about phishing emails, hacking of computer networks, all kinds of different ways. So, how do you know? How do you know if you've been a victim of identity theft or fraud? Well, maybe your bills don't arrive as expected. Um,
Mm.
don't be happy.
Yeah.
Don't say, "Oh
Right.
boy, I didn't get my bills." Think, "Where did they go?" Yes. Maybe you have an unexpected credit card or account statement. Maybe you get denied for credit that you didn't even apply for. So there could be incorrect information on your credit report, and those are all warning signs that something is amiss, and you need to take some action. So how do you protect yourself?
Right.
If you're feeling anxious about your financial health, you're not alone, because the three national credit reporting agencies during this pandemic, instead of allowing you once a year to check your credit report, at no charge, they let you do it weekly. So there's no excuse. Set it up on your computer and go in and check regularly to make sure that there's nothing unusual in there. This will prevent creditors, y- y- you know, this will prevent those identity thieves from taking action. So while you're in there, what you might want to consider, and I strongly recommend, is to freeze your credit. You can freeze it and unfreeze it, in a moment's notice. Um, this would prevent creditors from accessing your credit file, and it also prevents, though, the the identity thieves. And it doesn't cost anything. It's the highest form of security that you can use. So, you could go online and with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion and freeze them. And if you can't go online, you can do it, via the mail or a phone call. But I would recommend online because it's so quick and easy, and there is no cost to it. So there's no reason for you not to take advantage of this security.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is absolutely what we need to do. I'm just thinking of one of the examples that we've had. Remember, I mean, because now is tax season, and people who find out that somebody has stolen their identity, and all of a sudden, that their tax return went to somebody else. So there's a lot of really
Right.
just terrible things that are going on out there. I'm very pleased to hear about the three national credit reporting agencies and the fact that they have stepped up and give us this access for free. So that is great, and I guess
Yeah.
free in the freezing, and then of your credit file if that's what needs to be done, so that then you can get it back and start using it
hmm
properly again. And they're just so sneaky in the way that they do all this.
Oh, I've got a couple of examples that will blow your mind. All right. One is what brought this to mind. Last week, I read a notice from the FTC that they fined a company, Vivint, $20 million. And the reason they did this was because, well, they sell like security, home security, and the setups cost $1,000 or more, so it's not inexpensive. And so many of their customers are interested in financing. So part of the sales process, the Vivint sales reps would check a person's credit report to see if they can finance the security system. So if if the potential customer didn't qualify, they had a couple of tricks up their sleeves that got them into a lot of trouble. But one method is called white paging. And so, how this would work is that the employee would find an unrelated person with the same name. Okay.
Wow.
So they'd find another Hank Stolz that had
Yeah.
good credit, and they would use that person's address as a previous address for their customer. So they'd sneak in there and use the credit of an unsuspecting individual.
Wow.
This wasn't once in a while. This was often. And then the second thing that they would do is they would ask the prospective customer who failed the credit check for the name of somebody else, like a relative or somebody, and they would then pull the credit report for that person, obviously without their permission, and add their address as a previous address for the customer. So this was a way they would trick the system into, um, giving these people credit so that they could get these security systems. But the problem was that some of them um, qualified, but the loan went bad. So what did they do? They went after
Oh,
the
yeah, of
poor.
course. I mean, right?
Guess who they went
Sure, yeah,
after? The guy
exactly.
that
The real
didn't. They
person,
had
yeah.
no idea. The real person. Yes. So this is why the FTC really took action. But this is, so if you have your credit frozen, this couldn't happen to you. This could not happen to you. But where you have another thing that just shows you how organized and scammers are. And it's a real business. And so there's something out there called a synthetic ID theft. And what they do is they get like a social security number. Usually they like minors because they have nice, good credit, clean credit.
Mm,
They haven't bought
mm.
anything yet. And then they'll get an address of maybe an abandoned property and a fake name and birth date, and they'll put it all together and they'll create a synthetic ID, and they'll start over a period of years building credit on that. and then once they get it to a certain point, they go in for the kill and max out the credit cards, and then walk away from that identity. So they're very clever, and what can I say? Read your credit reports, make sure nothing unusual is happening there, and just be on guard.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, this as always, but this one in particular just fascinating and into the. It is a business to them. They don't have a shred of decency. They just seem to turn off those emotions. So we've got to be on guard. Nancy, thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks so much for having me on.